A boy runs through a field in 1909. When archaeologists zoom in, they freeze in shock. The child's face shows absolute terror, mouth wide open in a silent scream, eyes huge with fear. His clothes appear burned as if fleeing from flames. Who or what was chasing Thomas Henderson in his final moments? A boy runs through the field in 1909. When scientists look closer, they freeze in shock. The year is 2024. Deep inside the big Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C., Dr. Sarah Mitchell puts on her reading glasses. She looks at a box of very old photos that someone gave to the museum. The papers smell old and dusty as she carefully turns each page of the leather book. These pictures were taken between 1905 and 1915 all across America's farms. They show how people lived more than 100 years ago. No one has seen these photos before. Sarah has studied old pictures for 15 years, but she was not ready for what she was about to find. She gets to the middle of the photo book. Her fingers stop on one picture. The label just says, Nebraska Farmland, Summer 1909. The black and white photo shows a huge wheat field going all the way to the sky. There's a small farmhouse far away. At first it looks like just another farm picture from long ago. But then she sees something strange in the bottom right corner. A small blurry shape looks like it's running across the field. The blur means whoever it was moved very fast when the picture was taken. This was weird because old cameras took a long time to take pictures back then. Sarah picks up her magnifying glass. She wants to look closer at this strange thing. Sarah's hands shake a little as she holds the magnifying glass over the running shape. What she sees doesn't make sense and scares her. The shape looks like a young boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old. But there's something very scary about how he looks. His clothes look torn and ripped. The way he's running shows he's really scared. This isn't just a boy playing in a field. She calls her friend, Dr. James Morrison, right away. He knows how to check if old photos are real and make them clearer. In just a few hours, James comes to the museum with his special computer equipment. The two scientists work very carefully to make a computer copy of the photo. They don't want to hurt the old picture. When the computer finishes copying, James puts the file on his laptop. He starts the slow work of making the picture clearer. James uses special computer programs that can show things you can't normally see. He slowly makes the running boy's picture sharper and clearer. Sarah watches closely as the image gets better with each change. "My God," James whispers. His face turns white with shock. "Sarah, you need to see this." The clearer picture shows things that are both amazing and scary. The boy's face is turned a little toward the camera. His mouth is open like he's screaming, but you can't hear it. His eyes are huge with fear. His clothes aren't just torn, they look burned like he was running away from a fire. But the scariest part is the look on his face. It shows he was more afraid than anyone should ever be. Sarah starts looking up the history of the land in the photo right away. She uses old property papers and newspapers from 1909. She finds out that the farmland belonged to the Henderson family. They came from Germany and moved to Nebraska in the 1890s. The family had Robert Henderson, his wife Margaret, and their 3 kids. There was Emma, who was 12, Thomas, who was 9, and little Mary, who was only 6 years old. She finds a sad story in the local newspaper, the Nebraska County Herald, from August 15, 1909. The big headline says, "Local farm family dies in mysterious fire." The story tells how the Henderson farmhouse burned down during the night. All 5 family members died. What made this fire so strange was that neighbors saw the fire start in many different places around the farm at the same time. This made people think it might not have been an accident. The newspaper story says that young Thomas Henderson's body was found almost a quarter-mile away from the house. This made investigators think he tried to run away from the fire. The local sheriff said, "The boy must have run faster than anyone could run, but the flames caught him anyway." Sarah feels more and more worried as she realizes what this means. If the photo was taken in summer 1909 and the fire happened in August that year, then the picture might show Thomas Henderson in his last scary moments. But how could a photographer be there at such a faraway place when a family was dying? Sarah wants to find the truth, so she travels to Nebraska. She goes to see where the Henderson farm used to be. The person who owns the land now is an old man named William Crawford. He has lived on the land next door his whole life. His grandfather saw the fire that night in 1909. William walks Sarah across the field to where the farmhouse used to stand. Nothing is left of the old house except for a few stones from the foundation. They're almost completely hidden by tall prairie grass that has grown for many years. As they walk, William tells Sarah the stories his family passed down about that terrible night. "My grandfather always said there was something weird about that fire," William says. His old weathered hands point toward the empty field. He said he saw strange lights dancing across the wheat before the flames started, like nothing he'd ever seen before, and the boy, Thomas, he said the boy was running before the fire even started, like he knew what was going to happen. Sarah takes careful notes about the location. She takes pictures and marks the exact spot on her GPS. As she looks at the area where the house used to be, she sees something shiny in the dirt. She carefully brushes away the soil and finds a small, old metal object. It's a child's toy soldier, the kind kids played with in 1909. The paint is gone, but the toy is still in good shape even after being buried in Nebraska dirt for over 100 years. When Sarah gets back to Washington, D.C., she keeps investigating. She contacts photo experts all across the country. She needs to make sure the photograph is real and hasn't been changed in any way. Dr. Elizabeth Kumar is a special photo detective at Georgetown University. She agrees to look at the picture using the newest ways to check if photos are real. Dr. Kumar's tests show that the photograph is real. It was made using the same chemicals and methods that cameras used in 1909. The paper and developing chemicals match what was available back then. There are no signs that anyone changed the picture on a computer or put different pictures together. Most importantly, the grain and light patterns throughout the whole image are the same. This means it was all captured in one single picture. "This photograph is real," Dr. Kumar tells them during their meeting. "Whatever this image shows, it happened exactly like the camera captured it. The motion blur and focus are exactly right for early 1900s camera techniques. But questions still remain. Who took the photograph? And why were they at the Henderson farm during what looks like Thomas Henderson's final moments?" Sarah searches historical records for any mention of photographers working in rural Nebraska during 1909. Her search leads her to the Nebraska Historical Society archives. There she finds information about a traveling photographer named Edmund Hartwell. Hartwell was known for taking pictures of rural American life in the early 1900s. He traveled from farm to farm with his camera equipment loaded in a horse-drawn wagon. The U.S. Department of Agriculture hired him to take pictures of America's farming heritage. According to the records, Hartwell was indeed working in the Nebraska County area during the summer of 1909. Sarah manages to find Hartwell's personal diary. His family had given it to the Historical Society many years earlier. The entries from August 1909 tell a scary story that explains the mysterious photograph. Hartwell's diary entry for August 14, 1909 says, "Arrived at the Henderson farm this afternoon to photograph their wheat harvest. Strange feeling about the place. The family seems nervous, always looking toward the horizon like they're expecting something. Young Thomas keeps asking his father when they can leave this place. I've set up camp nearby and plan to start taking pictures at dawn." The next entry, dated August 15, 1909, is written with shaky handwriting. "Woke before dawn to the sound of running footsteps. Grabbed my camera, thinking to capture the morning farm work. What I saw can't be explained. The boy, Thomas, was running across the field in complete terror. Though I could see no threat nearby, I managed to take one photograph before the most horrible scene happened. The entire farm burst into flames at the same time, as if lit by some invisible force. The family's screams will haunt me forever. I barely escaped with my life and my equipment. Hartwell's final entry about the incident says, "I have developed the photograph from that terrible morning. The image shows the boy in his final moments of freedom before the flames took him. I cannot bring myself to show this to anyone. Some pictures are too terrible to share with the world. I am leaving Nebraska immediately and pray I never return to this cursed place." Sarah realizes that Edmund Hartwell had hidden the photograph among his other work. He couldn't destroy it, but he also couldn't show its terrible meaning to anyone. When his photo collection was sold after he died in 1963, the photograph stayed anonymous among hundreds of other rural American scenes. Its dark secret was unknown to collectors and historians for over 60 years. But Sarah's investigation takes an even more scary turn when she finds more records about the Henderson family tragedy. A report by the Nebraska State Fire Marshal's Office was recently put on computers. It reveals details that were never published in the local newspaper. The official investigation decided that the fire had been set on purpose, but no one was ever caught. Even more scary, the report says that several neighbors had seen a figure moving through the wheat fields in the hours before the fire. Someone who didn't look like any Henderson family member. The mysterious figure was described as tall and wearing dark clothes. He moved carefully through the crops as if looking for something. The marshal's report also notes something unusual about Thomas Henderson's body. Even though he was found almost a quarter-mile from the farmhouse, the boy showed no signs of breathing in smoke. This suggested he had been running before the fire began. Just like Edmund Hartwell's diary said, this evidence supported the idea that Thomas had somehow sensed the coming danger and tried to run away, though he didn't succeed in the end. Sarah's research shows that the Henderson family had been in a fight about their property with a local land developer named Marcus Thornfield. He had been pressuring farmers throughout the county to sell their land for a planned railroad expansion. Several families had reported getting threatening visits from men who claimed to work for Thornfield, though nothing was ever proven in court. The Nebraska County Herald archives showed that Marcus Thornfield had indeed bought the Henderson property within weeks of the fire. He paid much less than it was worth to the county after it was declared abandoned. Thornfield went on to buy several other farms in the area the same way. Eventually, he owned enough land to get the railroad company's attention. What makes this information especially disturbing is that Edmund Hartwell's diary contains another entry that Sarah had missed at first. Written several days after his escape from Nebraska, Hartwell wrote, "I cannot stop thinking about the figure I saw in the wheat just before young Thomas began running. A tall man in dark clothing, moving with purpose through the field. When the boy started running, this figure seemed to follow, always staying the same distance away but never stopping his chase." Sarah shares what she found with Dr. Morrison. Together, they start to figure out what really happened at the Henderson farm in 1909. The evidence suggests that Thomas Henderson was not just running from a fire, but from something much more scary. The boy appears to have been running from someone who wanted to hurt him. The photograph, therefore, captures not just a sad moment in American history, but possibly evidence of a crime that was never solved. Thomas Henderson's look of terror takes on new meaning when seen as the face of a child running from dangerous people rather than a natural disaster. Dr. Morrison uses his computer techniques to look at other parts of the photograph more closely. His work reveals more disturbing details that no one had noticed before. In the far background of the image, barely visible even with computer help, there appears to be another figure moving through the wheat field. The figure is too far away and blurry to see clearly, but it's there. This supports Hartwell's story of seeing someone chasing the boy. Sarah decides to contact the current Nebraska State Police to share what she found. Detective Lisa Rodriguez specializes in very old cases. She agrees to look at the evidence. While the case is over 100 years old and way past any time limit for prosecution, Detective Rodriguez is interested in possibly solving a historical mystery. Cases like this fascinate me, Detective Rodriguez explains during their phone call. Even though we can't prosecute anyone at this point, there might be families out there who still wonder what really happened to their ancestors. Sometimes closure is worth pursuing regardless of the legal implications. Detective Rodriguez's research into Marcus Thornfield reveals a pattern of suspicious property purchases throughout Nebraska and surrounding states during the early 1900s. In several cases, families who had refused to sell their land to Thornfield later experienced mysterious accidents or disasters that forced them to abandon their properties. While no direct connection was ever proven, the pattern happens too often to ignore, and Sarah's investigation gets the attention of other historians and people who study family trees. This includes members of the Henderson family's surviving descendants. Robert Henderson's great-great-granddaughter, Patricia Henderson Williams, contacts Sarah after reading about the discovery in a historical journal. Patricia shares family stories that had been passed down through generations. Stories that her family had always thought were exaggerated tales of frontier hardship. According to family lore, Robert Henderson had been getting threats for weeks before the fire. The threats warned him to sell his land or face consequences. The family had been planning to leave Nebraska, but they waited too long. My great-great-grandmother's sister lived in Iowa, Patricia tells Sarah during their phone conversation. She always said that Robert had written to her about men coming to the farm at night. Men who didn't say who they were, but made it clear that the family wasn't welcome in Nebraska anymore. She said Thomas had become so frightened that he barely slept, always watching the windows and listening for sounds outside. This information helps explain Thomas Henderson's behavior in the photograph. The boy wasn't just running from a fire. He was running from a threat that had been scaring his family for weeks. His look of complete panic suggests he may have seen or heard something that convinced him immediate escape was his only chance to survive. Sarah's work on the Henderson case leads to recognition of her research methods and historical detective work. She gets invited to present her findings at the International Conference on Historical Photography. Her presentation attracts attention from researchers worldwide. During her presentation, Sarah emphasizes the importance of looking beyond the obvious when examining historical photographs. Every image tells a story, she explains to the assembled audience. But sometimes the most important story isn't the one that's immediately apparent. This photograph appeared to show a simple rural scene, but careful analysis revealed evidence of a tragedy that had remained hidden for over a century. Sarah's research methods also helped develop new techniques for analyzing historical photographs. Her combination of computer enhancement, archive research, and field investigation creates a model that other researchers begin to use for their own historical mysteries. The story of Thomas Henderson in the 1909 photograph becomes a case study in university courses on historical research and forensic photography. Students learn not only about the technical parts of photo analysis, but also about the human stories that historical images can reveal when looked at carefully. Dr. Morrison publishes a technical paper on the computer enhancement techniques used to reveal hidden details in the Henderson photograph. His work advances the field of historical photograph restoration and provides new tools for researchers working with damaged or unclear historical images. Meanwhile, Detective Rodriguez continues her investigation into Marcus Thornfield's business practices. She hopes to find connections to other unsolved cases from the early 1900s. Her research reveals that Thornfield's land acquisition methods were used by several other developers during the same period. This suggests a broader pattern of intimidation and possibly violence used to force families off valuable agricultural land. The Nebraska Historical Society creates a special exhibit featuring the Henderson photograph and Sarah's research. The exhibit, titled "Hidden Stories: What Photographs Don't Tell Us," attracts visitors from across the country. It raises awareness about the importance of preserving and studying historical images. Patricia Henderson Williams works with Sarah to create a memorial for her ancestor, Thomas Henderson. They install a small marker at the site where the Henderson farmhouse once stood. The memorial acknowledges Thomas's life and the tragedy that happened to his family. It includes a copy of the photograph and a brief explanation of Sarah's research. For Sarah, the discovery transforms her career and her understanding of the power that historical photographs hold. She establishes a research foundation dedicated to investigating mysterious or unexplained historical images. This creates a resource for other researchers and families seeking answers about their past. The enhanced photograph of Thomas Henderson running through the wheat field becomes one of the most studied historical images of the early 20th century. It serves as a reminder that behind every historical photograph lies a human story. And sometimes those stories reveal truths that have remained hidden for generations. As Sarah thinks about her discovery, she's struck by the realization that Thomas Henderson's desperate run across that Nebraska wheat field in 1909 wasn't just captured by Edmund Hartwell's camera. It was preserved for over a century, waiting for the right person with the right tools to reveal its terrible secret. The boys' final moments of freedom, frozen in silver and time, had finally found their voice through the dedication of researchers who refuse to accept that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. The photograph now hangs in Sarah's office at the Smithsonian. It's a constant reminder of the importance of looking deeper, questioning assumptions, and never underestimating the stories that historical images can tell. Thomas Henderson's run through that wheat field ended in tragedy over 100 years ago. But his story continues to matter, teaching new generations about the power of persistence in uncovering historical truth. It reminds us of the importance of remembering those whose voices were silenced too soon.